In general elections, this town is a litmus test for the mood of the nation. The same was true in the referendum. Swindon was part of the revolt against the EU. 55% voted leave. But forget Brexit stereotypes. This is neither a declining industrial town nor a UKIP attracting seaside backwater. It has a thriving tech industry. Honda is a major employer. There are numerous small industries. And underneath Swindon's factory roofs, the psychological struggle within Britain is being played out. Here at Wilson's Tools, many workers voted to leave the EU, but the company wanted to stay in.
Around the 55% mark probably voted to leave, so...
Yeah. And did you talk to them about the impact it would have on the business?
Yes, we did. At the last minute, we sort of got the feeling that a lot of people were going to vote for leave, so we started to communicate a bit more with them as what the effects would be in here.
Did you think it had any impact?
No. My guess would be it didn't change any viewpoints at all.
The factory makes tools for the metal industry. Because of Brexit, it's had to reconfigure its business, creating a company in Germany to help transit its European exports.
There's quite a lot of cost in computer projects and sort of changes to infrastructure to allow us to do this. So, yeah, it's been a very expensive project. So there's a hidden cost where we'd like to be concentrating on growing the business. We're concentrating on Brexit changes instead.
What's your message to the government?
Get your act together would be my message.
So Swindon workers defied the wishes of many of the key employers in this area, and that rift is opening wider.
If anything, the last 2 years appears to have polarised opinion even more, with businesses such as this one more worried about Brexit, but the people of Swindon, not so much.
Everyone we spoke to in the High Street's Blues Cafe bar were resolute about leaving.
We need to stand on our own 2 feet and let them worry about us. Let them to deal with us, rather than we need to hobble to anybody. Stand by our guns and be strong.
I can't remember anybody saying go back to Europe and do deals over it. As far as I'm concerned, leave is leave. We could have made our own rules on immigration and that.
Do you worry at all about there being no deal? I mean, it doesn't sound like you're worried about that.
No, I don't. I think no deal's a good thing.
So what is the big deal about no deal? Honda's a good example. It employs 4,000 people in Swindon and sees a no-deal Brexit as posing serious challenges to their logistics and their competitiveness.
Honda has told Sky News it should be a priority to avoid no deal. Ultimately, they want regulatory alignment with the EU. They want access to the EU's international trade arrangements, and they don't want border checks that could disrupt their supply chains. In other words, they want to stay in the single market and the customs union.
Smaller firms have similar problems. Combe Castle exports British cheese and cream around the world.
We have to ensure that this gets into market before the 29th of March, otherwise after that we don't have an agreement with Canada.
So you're trying to ship all this stuff out as quickly as possible?
Absolutely. We've either got to get it out as soon as possible or we've actually got to just take no orders, probably from March.
So take the company's cream exports as an example. If we lose Europe's international trade deals and go onto World Trade Organization rules, Combe Castle will have to pay 25% tariffs on its exports to Japan, 36% to South Korea, and 293% tariffs on exports to Canada.
We've analysed our options should we crash out, and it would mean that we'd probably lose about 50% of our business.
But in Yates pub in Swindon, pensioner Alex Nichol just wants to get on with Brexit.
How would you feel about this decision coming back to the people?
Well, what are you going to say about the people, the 17 million people, like myself, who voted for Brexit? What are you going to say to them then? What, just say that we're going to cut that one out?
If you want, you can vote again for Brexit.
Well, I do think, well...
You could say, OK, well, now you could vote for no deal, Brexit, or you could vote for Theresa May's deal.
But you do realise this would be the first referendum in Great Britain is never been adhered to.
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe you could argue that it wasn't a clear instruction. The instruction wasn't clear enough.
But then I would say to you that, like, north of England, everybody, Stoke, all them places who were vehemently for Brexit, vehemently for Brexit. I'm just thinking there'll be an uprising.
A Sky News poll shows that views on both sides have, for the most part, become more entrenched and polarised. Asked, have the last 2 years made you feel more or less confident about how you voted? 52% of Remainers felt more confident, 18% less so. But amongst Leavers, 47% also felt more confident about their decision, with just 20% questioning it. One Leave voter having second thoughts is waitress Sophie Shepherd.
Has there been any impact on you from Brexit or the business here?
100% yes. As you guys can see, you've walked through and everything's shut in the town centre, business rates are going up, food's getting more expensive to buy.
If there was a second referendum, how would you vote?
It depends what they'd lay out to me, like what they've got to offer.
No deal, Theresa May's deal, stay in the EU.
Stay in the EU.
Swindon still reflects the mood of the nation. Divided, confused, frustrated.
The legendary magic roundabout here in Swindon is to traffic management what Brexit is to politics. It looks chaotic. There are many routes you can take, all in completely different directions. But there's a danger. You'll just keep going round in circles.
If you're looking to Swindon for clear signposting of what to do, you won't find it here. This town is just as confused as Westminster. Jason Farrell, Sky News.